Hey everybody, haven't made a YouTube video in quite a while. I was going to do it outside, but days are getting shorter and the sun's setting. So, I guess I'm in the garage again. But I want to talk a little bit about something recently I discovered. Might as well get the books handy. Asatru by Stephen McNallen. As a lot of you know, I have a YouTube video. I think I posted probably a couple of years ago or something by now, I don't know. Something like that. Being an atheist conservative. I've been an atheist since I was 9. But recently discovering Asatru, I might be moving more into like being agnostic maybe. Which is kind of interesting. Stephen McNallen talks a lot about, you know, look right there, I just show it. Asatru, native European spirituality, talking a lot about the heritage of the Europeans. I don't know, if I'm not European, nobody is. They had a DNA test through ancestry.com 3 or 4 years ago now. There's always this rumor, it was on my dad's side, that we had native Canadian Indian, or whatever the politically correct term is. I don't know, I don't really care. But I was like, oh, that's interesting, I wonder if we have any of that. So I had the DNA test and nothing popped up. It came back that I was 63% like German and Swiss and French and like that area, and then 13% Scandinavian, 14% English, and then actually 5% Spanish, which was kind of interesting. 5%, it's kind of interesting. But then the other little bit was like 1% Irish, 1% Italian, like less than 1%. It's like tiny, like Far Eastern European and far Western Asian. But anyway, like I said, it was just little slivers. But anyway, it was kind of interesting, you know. It's like, because I'm not Christian, I've never been Christian. I'm still an atheist in that respect. I'll probably always be an atheist in that respect. You know, the Abrahamic religions, you know, the God of, you know, the Judeo-Christian, Islamic religions that they call the Jewish religion 1.0, Christianity religion 2.0, and Islam religion 3.0. As my book slides onto the floor almost, I just caught it, pretty cool, missed it. But you know, I'm not Middle Eastern, I'm not Israeli. What's the point of being Christian when I have ancestry, I have a heritage? You see right there, I got my Mjolnir, you may know it as Thor's hammer. Beard's been going for almost 7 years now. So the beard and the Mjolnir go together well, I think. Because then people coming up to me, you know, when I was out, like, hey man, you kind of look like a Viking. I was like, oh, thanks, I guess. Like, yeah, I know. I mean, I knew I was a Viking. I know I have a, my cousin, he passed away, he's been gone almost 11 years now, which is really strange. But he was really, really into a lot of different religions, but the Norse religions he was really into, and he had one of these. I mean, I thought it was cool, I just never really looked into it. But then, of course, you know, I looked into it, you know, I have an ancestry, I have a heritage. And there's a lot of things going around about how it's racist. That is just lunacy. That's ridiculous. Okay, being white is not a privilege. It's not oppressive. It's not offensive. Okay, everyone has a heritage. Everybody has ancestry. And this book here by Stephen McNallen is phenomenal. He's also got some YouTube videos. He's got his own channel on YouTube, and he has videos he does through a channel called RedIce, which has also been accused of racism. It's just unbelievable. It's a witch hunt. It's absolute lunacy. People are insane. And he, Stephen McNallen, he started the Asatru Free Assembly, later changed it to the Asatru Folk Assembly. And I think a couple of years ago he actually stepped down from that, but the Asatru Folk Assembly is still up and running out in California, I believe. And it's been ruled by the ACLU. Don't hold me to that. That it's a like a hate group. It's absolutely insane. It's not racist for white people to have heritage, to have ancestry. I was always thinking about George Carlin. You know, he talked about pride. He's never understood racial or ethnic pride. You know, being white, being European is not a skill. It's, you know, a genetic occurrence. It's just something that happened. You know, you can be happy, like, you know, happy to be Irish, happy to be Greek or whatever. You know, be happy, don't be proud. But, you know, you can be proud of your ancestors. You can be proud of your heritage. You can be proud of your ancestry. Like everybody else is allowed to be proud, to be gay and proud, you know, black pride and Hispanic pride and all that. But if you have white pride, you're white supremacist. And I highly suggest going to RedIce TV on YouTube. They have a lot of really good videos on there. You know, it's like scaring white people into, you know, white guilt and all this nonsense. Telling all white people that they're bad and that they're privileged. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I don't know. I think, like what I've read, because I read this book. I read it. I'm not just promoting it like I've done with other books. I've actually read this. Yeah, I've actually read it. And yeah, what was I gonna say? But I actually read it, and he teaches that, you know, it's okay to be proud of your heritage and where you come from. Everybody else does it, it's okay, but I read this one, that's really good. I also read, I'm reading this, well, I got my Hobbit bookmark in there. See, a Gandalf on there was actually based off of Odin. The Prose Edda by Snorri Sturluson. I'm actually in the process of reading that. Read some more of it this evening. But yeah, that's really good so far. All about the Norse and Germanic European gods that we're actually descended from. And this one I read as well. Essential Asatru by Diane L. Paxson. Walking the Path of Norse Paganism. She seems to me to be way more liberal-minded than Stephen McNallen, I think. Because she seems to be way more like, you know, Asatru groups allowing in people from all sorts of ethnicities and all sorts of stuff. And now Stephen McNallen's more about saving the white race. Of course, I like this one a lot better, so I must be a racist pig. But of course, I like this one quite a bit better than this one. This is good, but this is better. In my opinion. I'm just stating my opinion. This is my YouTube channel. This whole channel's my opinions and me rambling on about God knows what. And I still like Donald Trump. I just had to take the shirt off because I was out working out, looking fine, and it got all sweaty, so I had to switch it out for this one here. And I wanted this to be about Asatru. I didn't want it to be about Trump. But, yeah, this is a really, really good book. He talks about all sorts of stuff in here. He talks about the origins of the gods, and he talks about different groups. He talks about all his work that he did on Asatru. This guy's been into, you know, Odin and Freya and Frigg and Thor and everybody. He's been doing this. He's in his late 60s, and he's been into this stuff for like 40 years, so he started way before me. But yeah, very, very interesting. But yeah, you know, being white is not a crime. Being proud of your ancestry is not a crime. Not yet, anyway. But yeah, don't let people bring it down. If you're a white person, don't let people make you think that you owe them something. And don't, you know, because nobody owes you anything. But also don't make it sound like you owe anybody anything. Pave your own way, do your own thing. Remember, everybody has ancestry. I think a lot of biracial people, I think, as they get older, because, you know, I'm in my late 30s, and I just got into this recently. I think a lot of biracial people, I think I'll have a real issue as they go through life finding their identity, finding where they belong. Because when I heard Stephen McNallen talking about Asatru, the gods of Europe, I mean, he talks in here that we're descended from Heimdall, came down as Rig, and laid with 3 women. Some people think it might be Odin, but they think it was Heimdall, who guards the Bifrost Rainbow Bridge. It joins Asgard and Midgard. He came down, hanging out and got it on with 3 chicks, and that's who we're descended from. So we're actually descended from the gods. And Asatru, the gods of Asatru, don't demand that you, kneel and, all that, because he even says in there, like, the hands praying in Christianity represents bound wrists. Basically being, an indentured servant to your faith and your belief. Asatru is not like that. Odin and Frey and Frigg, they're not interested in that. The gods of the Aesir and the Vanir, that doesn't really work for them. Our fate is what we make. It's kind of like our fate is pre-decided, but it's also what we make. How did he put it? I mean, this is really good. You need to read this. Even if you're not into Asatru, but if you're just like spiritual or something, because I'm actually not all that spiritual. Of course, I'm kind of getting there now, though, but I don't know. Really cool. It's not racist. It's okay to be white. No white guilt. It's okay to be white and to marry white people. It's okay to be a straight, white, cis man. Being born male and being all just happy about it. And being proud of your ancestry and where you came from and what you're doing with your life. And proud of your family. Absolutely. These liberal colleges are all run by China anyway. And you got talked about this before, the Soros groups and the big banks and the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and the jackass running Amazon, which is actually where I bought this damn thing. I got it off Amazon. Oh, jeez. Oh, well, what do you do? I mean, I just can't go pick it up at the corner store or nothing. Get it through seller, maybe. But yeah, we all have ancestry. Asatru is about roots. It's about connections. It's about coming home. But this is phenomenal. Like I said, I'm still reading the prose ed. I just got into this stuff recently. Right around the summer solstice, which is really weird. Because I saw Stephen McNallen talking on RedIce a long while ago. Maybe a year or something. And something occurred also, actually last summer, which was kind of odd. I'm not going to get into it now, but something really strange occurred, and I couldn't really explain what happened. But I think this might explain it, and I think the runes might explain it. Because that occurred, I'm not talking about it, but that occurred way before I really knew anything about it. I mean, I knew who Odin and Thor and stuff were, but unfortunately, it's mostly just what you hear through the fantasy stuff in the Marvel Marvel comics and the Marvel movie. I mean, the movie is cool and all, but I don't know. They've got ethnic people and stuff in there, and I'm sorry, but there is no, because now they're making these shows on TV with Vikings and stuff, and I'm sorry, but there's no black Vikings. I'm sorry if you're biracial. I don't really know what to tell you. Because I really think you're going to have a whole generation of people who are depressed and don't have an identity. Because I really respect people, sticking to their heritage, Africans being all about their African ancestry and their native African religions and all that. And that stuff's encouraged and all that in society all over the world. It's wonderful. And, China and Native Americans, they all have this native religious ancestry. Actually, he talks a little bit in here about a guy he knows who was a white guy, but he was like 3% Native American or something. So he found himself hanging around like Native American spiritual places. And one of the Native Americans there said, okay, we're going to start having our private ceremony now. All the whites need to leave. And he was like, oh. The white dude was like, oh, all right, he starts to leave, and a Native American escorted him out, walked with him and told him, like, you have an ancestor, you have a heritage. Why don't you follow that? Why don't you drink from your own well? And that's what the guy was like, bah, like, hello. So that's what he started doing. So yeah, the white race exists. We will always exist. Whites do not want to become a minority in the United States. They're becoming a minority in Sweden, and that's why Stockholm, Sweden now is one of the rape capitals of the world, if not the rape capital of the world, because they're allowing in ethnic immigrants who are not going to assimilate. White people do not want to become minorities in the United States. Okay. Hating middle class, working class, bourgeois white men is bad, because we are the ones that pay into all the welfare programs. You understand that? If the white man goes, the welfare goes. So you're going to have two groups of people. You're going to have the mega rich who don't give a damn. They want communism because the mega rich control the government, and then the government controls the people. That's how communism works. The rich big shots, Jeff Bezos and Oprah Winfrey and the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and Obama and Hillary. They don't care. They all run with the big shots, with the elites, and then the elites tell the government what to do. But that's a whole separate subject as well. But yeah, Asatru is about coming home. It's there's no white guilt. I'm a straight white man, and I have no guilt. Don't let people shove you around. The existence of the white race is non-negotiable. So I think that's about all I want to talk about. I'm running over a little 17 minutes now. So yeah, read Essential Asatru by Diana L. Paxson. This is good, but I highly suggest Asatru, A Native European Spirituality by Stephen McNallen. This is phenomenal. And get yourself a Thor's hammer or a Mjolnir. I'm not Christian because I'm not Middle Eastern. I'm leaning into Asatru now because I'm European. It works for me. Hopefully you're able to, look into your own heritage, your own ancestry, and, find a niche, find a place for yourself, no matter where you're from. It doesn't matter. But everybody has a story. So, okay. I just want to do a quick video on basically going from atheism into Asatru. Kind of crazy, I was an atheist since I was 9. 28 years as an atheist, I don't know. But yeah, get yourself a Mjolnir. Get yourself Asatru, A Native European Spirituality by Stephen A. McNallen. Watch him on YouTube, RedIce and all that. And I will catch you later.